You've asked and we're going to answer. We're going to take advantage of our travel day and multitask actually and answer questions, the most popular questions that we get from you guys, our viewers.
Hi, I'm Dan.
Hi, I'm Dina, and we are Rivers to Ridges RV.
We get asked questions all the time, like what's it really like to live on the road or RV full time? We figured we'd take advantage, we're on a travel day, we'll take advantage of the time we have. We have a list of some questions, probably the most popular questions we get.
Right.
We're going to try to get through as many of these as we can and just answer some of your questions. So, you ready to get started?
I'm ready. Larry writes in and asks, what is the hardest part of being on the road full time? Well, that's an easy one for me, missing family and friends. It's a given.
Yeah, I think I would agree.
Yeah.
We love the road, we love traveling. However, yeah, if there is one downside to it, it would be missing family and friends.
For sure. Cherie writes in and asks, how do you get along living in such a tiny space?
Perfectly.
Let me tell you, it ain't easy. No, seriously, we are lucky enough to have a fifth wheel toy hauler. Danny does still work full time, so he has the toy hauler, the garage, as an office, but also a little bit of a man cave, so to speak. His little getaway for whenever he's doing his own little thing on his computer, or if he wants to watch TV in there, he can sit on the patio and watch TV from there. We do have our own time, believe it or not, we do.
Yeah,
I run errands and I just get my little outing that I need, walk rodeo, do my stuff on my laptop.
Yeah, I think working probably helps, right? Because
Right.
during the day I'm working, so
Right.
Dina leaves me alone, lets me work. So it does give us some space right there, just because of working. So, to be honest, it's tough at times. Dina's no angel. I got to live with that. So it does get tough at times.
I won't say what you are, dear.
Or maybe the roles are reversed. I don't know. Does it have to do with the donkey?
You do have to get along very well, though. I will say you do. We are, I think, best friends, and it does help.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Joanne would like to know, how do you like your not dishwasher, I don't have a dishwasher. How do you like your washer and dryer, and how often do you have to wash clothes? I love my splendid washer and dryer. I don't think I could do full-time RVing without it. It just would not work for us. It's amazing, and I am so appreciative of it. Love both the washer and the dryer. The washer is a little bit less capacity for clothes, linens and things than the dryer. I think the drum in the dryer is a little bit bigger. However, I don't let my laundry pile up anyway, because I don't want to be stuck one day all day long doing laundry. So I do wash about every other day. That's what works for us. And that's usually with him changing twice a day.
Yeah, I usually try to jog during the week,
jogs.
so I go through a lot of jogging clothes. But honestly, I know I don't do the laundry, but I honestly don't see us living full time in an RV without a washer and dryer. I don't. It'd be miserable.
Oh yeah, I would be miserable.
Yeah, then I would be miserable.
That's a great question, though. Yeah, and then it trickles down. Okay, so Retired Jack wants to know, did you sell your house or do you have a home base? We sold our home and nearly everything in it.
Yeah.
We jumped in with both feet, 100%.
When we decided to do this, we went all in.
Yep.
We got the big RV, the big tow vehicle. We sold everything. We're true full-time RVers. We don't have a home base.
Nope.
So yeah. And to be honest with you, who wrote this, Retired Jack?
Yes.
That was one of my biggest concerns about doing this, was would I miss that home feeling? Would I miss feeling like I just don't have a home or a place to go back to.
Yeah.
Honestly, it turned out not to be an issue, a non-issue.
It's not an issue at all for me.
We're having too much fun.
Now, talking about missing family, that's a total different thing. Of course, we miss our family and friends, but a home base, I don't miss having.
Not at all.
This is our home.
Yeah.
And we love it. James would like to know, how much money do you make on YouTube? Zero.
You have to subscribe. Is that James?
And everybody get them to subscribe.
We need subscribers. So if you don't know too much about YouTube, they have requirements before you can start monetizing or making money. One of the requirements is you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers. And we don't. I think at the time of this video, we need roughly another 100 more. So we're somewhere around the 900 subscriber mark. So once we get over 1,000 subscribers, then the process starts in where we can start making a little bit of money. Now,
it's
try to
give
you as much information as I know from what I know from some other YouTubers that we speak with.
Yeah.
When you get over 1,000 subscribers, let's just say 1,000 to maybe 1,500 subscribers, somewhere in that ballpark, you're still only going to make maybe $50 to $75 a month. Of course, it all depends on how much that your videos are watched and things like that. But on average, you're not going to make much money. You really need to get up into the tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands subscribers before you can start living on the road doing this full time. So to answer your question,
a lot of work.
We don't make any money
a lot
right
of time.
now. We do enjoy sharing with you our adventures. Hopefully some of our tips. We enjoyed doing that as well, because we want to hopefully help you the same as some of these other channels helped us when we were researching. Hopefully we help you save some money and some time. So,
and hopefully you'll learn from his mistakes.
My mistake, but don't make a big mistake. You got to subscribe.
Please. Okay, so Doug's question is, what is the difference between a converter and an inverter? You got that one.
Okay, you do that one.
No way.
Converter? Okay, so Doug, a converter converts AC to DC. So think of 120 volts to 12 volts, or think of an outlet to a battery, right? 120 volts to 12 volts. Now, where this comes in handy is, or where this can be used, is if you're plugged into a campground, into the campground pedestal, that's 120 volts. That goes into your RV. It can go through your converter to help charge up your RV batteries. So that's a converter. An inverter is the exact opposite of that. It takes 12 volts, or your battery, voltage from your battery, it converts that to 120 volts. Now, we have an inverter. We use it on travel days. So think of, we have a residential refrigerator that takes 120 volts, just like a regular home, a home refrigerator would. When we're going down the road, we have our battery, our RV battery. Our inverter inverts that 12 volts to 120 volts, and now we can run our refrigerator as we're driving down the road. So those are the differences. Now you might be asking yourself, well, isn't that going to drain your battery when you're driving? It could, except our battery at the same time the inverter's draining it or drawing off of it, our tow vehicle is actually charging it up as well. So we've never had a problem, and we turn everything else off. It's strictly the refrigerator when we're driving. So a converter goes from 120 to 12 volts, and an inverter from 12 volts to 120.
What he said. Okay.
You should have answered that one.
Oh yeah. Riley asked, what is the biggest mistake you made when it comes to RVing? Oh, you mean his biggest mistake?
Got a few of them.
I think both of us do, honey.
I know we talked about this previously. I don't know if it's a mistake or maybe more of a regret. When we first started planning our trips, I don't think we researched as well
destinations
as we should have.
Yeah.
So we've been to destinations or points where we'd stop and not understanding what's really around it, or what other opportunities, adventures, things out there.
Or what did we pass by?
Or what did we pass by? So I know the first year of RVing, we passed stuff by. There's things that we could have done that we didn't do. Again, just because we probably didn't research the area well enough.
And that's both of our faults.
Yeah.
That's both of our mistakes.
Oh, go ahead.
We've already started on next year's calendar, and believe me, we're doing much more research.
Yeah, definitely. So I would honestly consider that a regret. Now, we have some mistakes that are costly mistakes, or could have been costly mistakes. One that I did a while back when we were in Tennessee, thinking I could put this thing inside a indoor garage,
our truck,
a parking garage.
The truck
didn't work out too well. No. There's some battle scars on the side fender over there. I have to get replaced later on, or fixed. So that's a costly mistake. Another one,
I did.
Yeah, we'll chalk this one up to Dina. This could have been very expensive. And I believe we added this to one of our videos earlier.
Yeah, we'll have to put that link
we'll put a link up top. But basically what happens is, real quickly, whenever we go anywhere for the day, we always turn our water off to the RV. We don't want to come back to a flood. So it's just habit. We turn the water off. Now, this one particular time when we were first starting to RV, I left the flush hose on as well. We have a little Y valve where we hook up to the campground spigot, but I left the flush hose on, the hose we use to flush our black tanks. It was attached to the spigot. However, luckily it was not attached to the RV. I unscrewed it from the RV. When we went to leave one day, Dina went to turn the water off on the Y valve. Mistakenly, she actually turned the water on to our black tank flush hose. Oops. Now, if you think about it, that was still attached to the RV.
Yeah.
Dina's saying she turned the water off, and we would have left. We would have come back, and we would have had a full black tank and then some, right?
And a chocolate dog.
And a chocolate dog, yeah, probably. So
chocolate golden.
Yeah, definitely. Luckily, we caught it. It turned out to be a non-issue. Yeah. But ever since then, we never, ever leave our black tank flush hose attached to the water spigot at all. Never. It's never attached, and it's also never attached to the RV unless we're standing right there. So those are probably our biggest mistakes.
Yeah, two big ones. Okay. So Stephanie's question is, how do you keep up with doctor's visits and vet visits? Luckily for us, we have a primary physician in Florida, and he does virtual appointments. I know a lot of doctors don't do that anymore since COVID's pretty much dwindled out, but our doctor still does. So if we need to, we can call in and get an appointment. It's a virtual appointment. If there's any new medication or anything that he needs to do, he does for us. Calls into the Walgreens, local Walgreens or CVS or whichever. There's been 2 times that I can think of that I've had to go to a walk-in. One was because I was sick and it ended up being COVID, and another was I needed injections in my knees prior to my surgery. So it always worked out.
But luckily though, for us also, if we know something's coming up, like say a dentist appointment, or maybe like an eye doctor even, we can plan ahead. And you have to plan 2 or 3 months out usually. But,
and I just tell I just tell them that we're traveling through, and I call our dentist, our main dentist office in Florida, and have them forward anything that this dentist office would need to know, records or x-rays or whatever it may be. That's never been a problem, never.
Yeah, I guess one tip I would have, because Dina usually does all the appointments, but the one tip I would have is, and Dina's really good at this, you know, if it is a last minute appointment you're trying to make, kind of an emergency type thing or something, don't forget to ask to get on their waiting list. Lots of times they're, the doctor, as I'm sure you're well aware, these doctors' offices are booked out, a month or two ahead of time. If that's the case, just ask if you can get on a waiting list. Sometimes you can get lucky, somebody will cancel and they can get you right in.
Right. So. Even if they don't mention a wait list, ask them if they have a wait list, because a lot of times they don't tell you, and when you ask, they're like, oh yes, absolutely, and it's actually worked for us. We've had them call back and say, oh, we had a cancellation, you can come in, blah blah blah. And as far as rodeo goes, she was fully, all her records up to date before we left, and then when our year was up, I went to a local dog rescue that actually had a clinic too for these types of, for vaccinations and those, not anything serious. And it worked out perfectly. I got all her vaccinations taken care of, her nails clipped. And then, of course, we did have the emergency visit because of her right eye with a tumor that was on her eye that had to be removed. Luckily, that was a whole godsend. The doctor just happened to have a cancellation and was able to take her in within 2 days for her surgery.
Yeah.
That was a blessing, and had her right eye taken care of. So
I think overall, though, with the vet, we found out there can still be a wait. You may not get in the same day you want.
But vets are, sometimes weeks or not a month.
Usually you can get in within a week, though, on average.
Yeah, on average. So that's that. Now for the last question of the day, Sandra writes in and asks, what do you do about security? Ring, 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 ring.
Yeah, without going into,
I love our Ring.
Yeah, without going into all the details, we do have a Ring security system. We have cameras inside and outside. And what this does allow us to do is we can actually, if we're gone for a few hours, we can monitor rodeo.
Yeah,
we can monitor what's going on outside the RV. We'll get alerts or notifications if somebody's around the RV. So that's a general security. Now, other parts, it's just common sense stuff. It's like if you had a home, living out of home, you don't leave your car unlocked with the keys in it. We lock things up. We have bicycles, we always lock those up to the front of the RV. Things we're not using, we put away, out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
So I guess the simple answer is common sense, right?
Yeah.
Common sense stuff like you would do
just like your home.
Anywhere else.
It is our home.
It is our home, yeah. And then for home security, we have the Ring alarm.
Yep. And we love it.
Yeah, definitely. So those are the questions we're going to get through today. We're going to make this a part one of part two. We didn't want to ramble on too long. So that's the last question. What we're going to do now is we're going to sign off. Hopefully you will subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, please do.
We need those subscribers so we can get monetized.
So we can, not only that, but so we can continue with the videos, because we really do enjoy sharing them with you guys.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week.
Remember, always live life to the fullest, and stay tuned next week for part two.
Safe travels and God bless.